got the mechanics motivated, he got the engineers charged up, he got the drivers to think. He ruled his team with an iron fist. We had the most gigantic arguments and disagreements on a technical sense with each other, but we never lost the respect and the liking for each other, never have.
The 1970s started with another spate of appalling accidents. For Stewart, the new decade began depressingly.
Gear. You know, you're going to third and the brake's under third, and the next thing it was jumping out of third gear. Did it twice. I nearly went straight on coming into the stadium. Managed to collect, the engine stopped, and managed to collect it in front of Pedro. And then going into the chicane, there just was no hope, you know.
Just one win for Stewart in 1970. 1971, though, was a title-winning year once again. But at his favourite Grand Prix, Monaco, he still wasn't in his best frame of mind.
In Monte Carlo, this year was different somehow. I was very tired, I was very uptight, and I couldn't unwind. I was much more alive to what was going on around me than I would be normally. Normally I just forget everybody else. I wouldn't want to talk to them. I wouldn't want to discuss anything with them.
Hi,
Jackie. On you. And have a nice evening.
Jackie. Thank you, Philip. Thank you.
Jackie.
Sorry I didn't get onto the boat, but
look, after the race. Jackie.
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you.
Jackie, after the race, the bunnies are all coming aboard.
Okay.
If you feel like it.
If I can, I will. Okay, thank you.
I try and eliminate the feeling of occasion normally, but in Monte Carlo I couldn't do it. And then I forgot a simple thing, like putting on a second layer of thermal underwear. Now, because of the walk down, I didn't want to dress fully, so therefore I kept one of my undershirts off, because I wear double layers. You know, I forgot to put it on. Now that's like, it's like a man forgetting his gun if he's going to shoot. You just don't do it, and it's something that I did. And I was halfway along to my race car when I remembered that I had only one set of underwear on, vests on. And I had to go back and do it. That annoyed me. That upset me. It upset my balance, my preparation, because I'm sort of plugged into a countdown, personal countdown prior to the race, an emotional countdown. And that irritated me. There was a photographer.
I got to get the Goodyear logo, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, for Christ's sake, what do you want me to do? Get to your studio?
Literally wanted me to pose. Now, it's not my scene. That's not what I'm there to do. And that irritated me. That wouldn't normally irritate me.
Then underneath the viaduct, into the corner, onto the front, accelerate in second gear, into third gear, into fourth gear. Now you're in the tunnel, you're going through the tunnel, which is one big bed, and you put it into fifth gear. You're going down here at full speed, down 10,500 revs. Entering the chicane, you put it into third gear at this point. Go through the chicane, which is a fast flick left and right. You keep it in third gear, you brake slightly at a lamp post, and you turn left into the tobacco corner, accelerating out. You go through the left-hander, going into the first section past the swimming pool, then into the right-hander, a sort of tank-slapping bend. Short area of acceleration, still in second gear. You brake, put it into the right-hander, then the left-hander. You've got to be very clean here. Change into third, back it down into second, then round the restaurant at the old Gassonet. Stay very clean, accelerate hard, and going into third gear just as you go over the rise of the road. This is a place again that you can pass, and this is back on to the start and finish.
1971 was a tough year. I did win the World Championship for the second time, but somehow or other it didn't mean nearly as much as the first one did, and I think I was so busy, so congested in my time. I was doing that year the Can-Am Championship and the World Championship. Can-Am being the North American, Canadian and American Sports Car Series Championship, which was quite an important series. But it meant that from about May until November, I was commuting back and forward across the Atlantic almost every week. And the time change was getting to me because I was going over there and doing promotions and build-up with the media prior to the weekend itself, then racing, then jumping on a plane and coming over, testing Formula One cars and racing them, and winning the World Championship. It was a hectic year. I ended up by having mononucleosis, which is a blood disorder, really very weakening. And I mean, I was a disaster at the end of it. I didn't attend the World Championship presentation because at that time my life was travelling so quickly that I can't even remember where I was, but I know I was somewhere else commercially that would not allow me to be in Paris, but Helen picked up my award.
His health took a further downturn the following year.
When I had the duodenal ulcer in 1972, it drained a lot from me, and I was laid off for a long time. I managed to come back and win my first race back, but then people were beginning to write me off. They thought I had earned too much money, I had had too many wins, and he's gone soft. When I came back, I drove very hard for the remainder of the season. In that year I won 4 Grand Prix races, so it wasn't a disaster of a year. By the beginning of 1973, however, I had started to question why I was doing it anymore. I felt that I was working so hard, my enthusiasm was beginning to wane, not because of the money or the success, but because I was getting burned out. My energy level had been used up. Suddenly, I was getting more aggravation from the sport than I was getting pleasure. And I knew that the countdown was on, and I knew that this wasn't going to be a long-term thing for me anymore. I in fact made the decision. I fought very hard through March thinking about what I would do, and in the beginning of April I categorically decided I was going to retire from racing. I had agreed to race until the end of the season with Ken Tyrrell, no contract, handshake. I didn't think it was right for me to leave. I felt I should complete the season, win or lose the World Championship. That wasn't going to be important to me. I told Ken, I told a man called Walter Hayes and another fella called John Waddell, both of Ford Motor Company, both very close to me, and Walter particularly. I told them and only them, so there was 3 people knew. Helen didn't know, the boys didn't know, Francois Sever didn't know, my teammate. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Each race I went to that year I knew it was going to be my last, at Monaco or in Silverstone or in Brands Hatch or in the Nürburgring or in Monza. And that in itself was quite a kick for me. There was no ultra heavy drive to win, but I did want to do well, and as it turned out I've clinched the World Championship.
The first lap only, from the bridge till the second chicane, no overtaking. This is between you gentlemen. It's a gentleman agreement. We all have been drivers and you know what it means. It is very serious. First lap only. Afterwards, God bless you all.
As in 1969, Stewart won the title at Monza. But this time, the circumstances were very different. This pit stop left him way down the field. But when he went back into the fray, he surged through to finish 4th. And his 3rd world title was acknowledged by the Tyrrell team's biggest rival, Colin Chapman, team manager of Emerson Fittipaldi and Ronnie Peterson at Lotus.
Stewart is champion. All Stewart's got to do is finish now and he's champion. Well, he's 5th now, so he'll be even pegging, and then he's going to actually get one more place to